Alright, so this video we're going to look at finding the trig function for this graph here. Alright, so when we look at it, we might, you might see a couple of things. Well, starting here, you see this part of the graph here kind of looks like the cosine function. See, there's a cosine function. But what does it look like? It's flipped. See how it's mirrored about the x-axis? Okay. All right. So what makes the graph mirror about the x-axis? Well, if this is y equals cosine x, well, what would make it do this? Y equals negative cosine x. If we put a negative, that mirrors it about the x-axis. Okay. So when we find the function for this graph, it's going to be just like finding cosine, except the a, what's in front of cosine, the number in front of cosine, is going to be negative. All right. Now, another thing I want to point out, see this part of the graph here, okay, that makes one cycle from x equals 0 to x equals 2, and then it starts repeating. Well, another thing we could look at, you see the graph here, okay, that's a cosine. That's just shifted horizontally 1 unit. Okay, but we're not going to do that one. I'm going to do those in another video. Matter of fact, I've got eight examples, and each example has its own video. The first two examples, just normal sine, no shifting, no reflecting, so they're just normal. Videos 3 and 4, they're reflected about the x-axis, the graph is, and one's sine, one's cosine. Examples 5 and 6, they're going to have a horizontal shift. One will be sine, one will be cosine. And videos 7 and 8 will have a horizontal and a vertical shift. One will be sine, one will be cosine. But just to point that out, we could look at it like that. And then also, we could look at it, you see this part of the graph here, that's the sine function. And that's just shifted, well, can't really tell, you know, see from here to here is the sine function, and it's just shifted. You could model it like that also. Okay, but for this video, let's just model this part from 0 to 2. All right, so we know that our function is going to be in the form a, and we have cosine of b times x plus c plus d. That's the form of a trig function. Okay, where we know c represents any horizontal shift, d represents a vertical shift. All right. So from this video, from this graph, we can see that a, well, its max and min value are 2 and negative 2. Okay, so a would be 2, but since it's reflected about the x-axis, a is going to be negative. Okay, and see, this is the part of the graph that we're dealing with from here to here. That's what we're modeling. Okay, so there's no horizontal shift, so c would be 0. Okay, there's no vertical shift, so d would be 0. All right, so now we got to figure out what b is. Well, we know that the period of the graph is 2 pi over b. Okay. All right, so let's write that up here again. Period is equal to 2 pi over b. Well, we need the length of the period. Okay, so the period, the length of it, is going to be from 0 to 2, or we could say the largest value minus the smallest value, and that equals 2. So we're going to replace the period with 2. So I get 2 equals 2 pi over b. Solve for b. So 2b is equal to 2 pi. So I get b is equal to pi. All right. So now you can see we've got a, c, d, and b. And that's what we've got to find. So I get y is equal to a, okay, a, which is negative 2, cosine of b times x plus c plus d. Okay, so y is equal to negative 2 cosine pi times x. And there's your function. All right, so give me a like, subscribe, and share, and I hope this video helped, and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.